Nisa had always been focused. A second-year literature student, she kept her circle small and her ambitions high. But everything changed the day she met Professor Rayner. He wasn't just any teacher. He was charismatic, witty, and unreasonably attentive to detail. His voice was calm, calculated, and powerful, like a man who'd mastered every word he spoke. The first time he looked directly into Nisa's eyes during a lecture on emotional manipulation in classic novels, she felt it wasn't just academic. There was something else, something that made her heart race. Within weeks, he was offering her extra sessions to help refine her writing voice. These sessions moved from his office to local cafes, from public spaces to dimly lit corners. She convinced herself it was just mentorship, but the messages became personal, then flirty, and then one day it happened. In the quietness of his office, he kissed her. She didn't resist. She didn't even think. She had already fallen. The secret romance and the next few months were like a dream. Or so she thought. They met almost daily. They spoke about literature, about life, about love. Nisa thought he saw her soul, her vulnerabilities, her ambitions. He'd tell her, "You're not like the others." She believed him. He never let her take selfies with him, never replied in front of people, never followed her back on social media. "University policies," he said. "It's too risky for now." She trusted him. Why wouldn't she? Until small cracks began to show. She once saw him talking to a freshman girl behind the library, laughing. The same laugh he shared with her. She asked him about it. He smiled. "She's just a student. You're being dramatic." Then there was that night he didn't reply for hours, said he was caught up with meetings, but his stories didn't add up. Her heart told her something was wrong, but her heart was also too deep into this now. He'd hold her, kiss her forehead, and say things like, "Don't ever doubt what we have." And so, she stayed. It was an ordinary Wednesday morning. Professor Rayner had just begun his lecture when two police officers entered the classroom. The silence was deafening. Everyone watched as the officers walked straight to him. "Nicholas Rayner?" one officer said. He nodded slowly. "You're under arrest on charges of misconduct and abuse of authority." Gasps filled the room. Nisa's world stopped. Her pen dropped. Her mouth dried. This had to be a mistake. The university buzzed with whispers. Social media exploded. News sites picked it up. University professor accused of involvement with over 50 female students. 50. Not 5, not 1550. When police investigated his phone, they found explicit messages, photos, videos, and not just with university students, but also with minors from online platforms he frequented using fake names. The administration was in chaos. The media hounded every department. Parents demanded answers. Faculty resigned out of embarrassment. And Nisa? She was frozen. She hadn't just been lied to, she had been used. Nisa locked herself in her room for days. She read every article, every tweet, every leaked message. She cried. Then she screamed. Then she cried again. The man who told her she was the only one had been sleeping with dozens of girls, some even the same day he met with her. Her photos were among hundreds. Her words, once personal, were saved next to others that were nearly identical. He had said the same things to every girl, like a script, a perfect rehearsed lie. As the investigation continued, more girls came forward. One was a freshman who said he made her believe she'd fail if she didn't agree to meet him privately. Another was a foreign exchange student who thought he was protecting her from visa issues. Each story was heartbreakingly similar. Manipulation, silence, fear, secrecy. Nisa began to receive messages from these girls. Many of them were shocked to find out about each other. Some were still healing. Some were still in denial. They formed a private group chat. They called themselves the 50. Nisa joined, broken but no longer alone. In court, Professor Rayner appeared calm, still in denial. But the evidence was overwhelming. Photos, texts, surveillance footage, testimony from dozens of girls. But the turning point came when one girl revealed she had been 17 when their affair began. That tipped the case from scandal to criminal. Rayner was sentenced to 18 years in prison without parole. The university offered public apologies, new policies, and mandatory staff background checks. But for Nisa, no apology could erase what she'd been through. Nisa dropped out for a semester, not out of shame, but to heal. Therapy helped. Writing helped. Talking to the other girls helped. She began to share her story anonymously on blogs, forums, and women's rights platforms. She became a voice. She wanted the world to know what these predators looked like. Not the ones in alleyways, but the ones behind lecterns, in suits with degrees and reputations. Months later, Nisa received a message request from an unknown number. It was a video, an old clip from Rayner's phone never seen before. In it, he looked into the camera and said, "They think they know me, but they all needed me in some way. That's why they let me in." She stared at the screen. No tears, no rage, only silence. Then she hit delete. 1 year later, Nisa published a short story under a pen name. The title is that, "The Ones He Forgot to Count." It went viral. And for the first time, she felt whole again. Not because she got justice, but because she had finally told her truth.